Hi there, future PEs. This is Wasim. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the US and Canada. I've authored several books on the topic of FE electrical and PE power exam preparation, and I also run popular exam preparation programs for FE electrical and PE power exams. So without further ado, let us dive into the content. So this is a quick overview of the PE licensing pathway. I like to take a couple of minutes in every session to sort of conduct this high-level overview so that regardless of the journey point where you are in, you can get an idea of what awaits you as far as next steps are concerned. The first requirement for the FE exam and the PE exam and eventually the PE license is your education. You have to have completed 4 years of undergraduate engineering, ideally through an EAC at an EAC ABET-accredited engineering degree. Based on my experience, even within the US, I would say about 20 to 30% of the graduates don't have a degree from EAC ABET accredited with accreditation, and almost 95% of the engineers who are in the US who are internationally trained, they don't have EAC ABET accredited. Now the good news is that NCEES has actually, I'm talking about NCEES, has streamlined this process quite a bit. You can go to the website www.ncees.org, and on the top right corner you're going to see that they offer credential evaluation services, which means that if you don't have an ABET accredited degree, then you can initiate a credential evaluation with them. I think it costs anywhere between $400 to $500, and they very promptly evaluate it as long as you provide them the necessary documentation, transcripts, and whatnot. I think within a month or so, after receiving all the documentation, sometimes even less, they will be able to give you credential evaluation. That would identify if there are any gaps in your education, or otherwise, it will basically give you a go ahead that your credentials, your undergraduate degree, and if you have done masters as well, that will also help fill in some of the gaps. And if there are any gaps, then they will let you know that you need to get these many credits for, let's say, physics or chemistry or something like that. And they've been streamlining this and removing some of the requirements, making it much, much easier. I've got this small request for you. 77% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. That's a massive number. If this video is helping you out in any shape, way, or form, please do me a quick favor. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will not miss out on any content that we've got planned, and it really supports the channel. Now, my recommendation for most of the folks is that even if you don't have EAC ABET, it does not prevent you in majority of the states from taking the FE exam. So most of the states that I know, with certain exceptions would be Arizona, New York, I believe Philadelphia, they require you to actually go through this process before you register for the exam. But you can register for the exam with any state, and it's not an issue because the exam is centrally conducted. But if you still prefer to register for the state that you want to take the exam for, then even this process is fairly simple and straightforward. Now, if you do decide to register for a state that doesn't require pre-approval, then you can still physically take the exam, let's say in Arizona, while having registered for Texas and vice versa. So in my opinion, the paperwork at no stage should prevent you from working towards the two most significant roadblocks in the licensing process. And the two most significant roadblocks in the licensing process are filters. Roadblock is probably not the best word, but two most important conditions, requirements, and filters are the FE exam and the PE exam. So the FE exam I already explained to you that most of the states don't require the credential evaluation. You can register for any of the states and then take the exam. You can go for the EIT certification. It's optional, but if you do foresee that there's going to be a huge gap between your FE exam and PE exam, those of you who don't plan on taking this back to back, then in the interim, EIT certification is a good idea. Work experience, I'm going to come back to this. The second major requirement is the PE exam. These are the two major reasons why people don't get the PE license or are unable to get the PE license, right? Not the stuff in between the credential evaluation or the work experience necessarily, or even the documentation. So a lot of states, more than 20 states, last time I counted roughly, allow you to take the PE exam right after you pass the FE exam, even if you're a recent graduate, even if you don't have any experience in terms of that can qualify towards your licensure. They have basically decoupled the experience requirements. Okay, so these are called the decoupled state. a whole bunch of them: Michigan, Wisconsin, California, Florida, Texas, New Jersey, a lot of the states, Illinois, if I remember correctly, a lot of the states, up to almost 20 states, they don't require you to have 4 years of experience for the PE exam. So you can knock out the PE exam right after passing the FE exam. But before you get the licensure, though, you'll still need 4 years of experience. You can sit tight and basically wait to accumulate the experience. And then once you get the experience, you submit in your application. But the two most daunting aspects of the licensing process, the two most intimidating steps or the requirements, you would have already cleared. And this is my recommendation, which a lot of my students adopt when they get on this journey. As far as the work experience is concerned, if you have international experience, most of the state boards are going to give you credit for it. As far as the work experience is concerned, you don't necessarily need to be working directly under the supervision of a PE, as long as there are PEs who can vouch for your experience. And in some states, they may require at least one direct reference, but the application for every single candidate, every single licensee application is evaluated on a case-by-case basis. So if you've already passed these exams and if you have progressive experience with increasing level of responsibilities, everything gets taken into consideration. Okay. And you will then have to document it, submit it along with the references, along with the supplementary experience record form to the state board, and if credential evaluation is required. So at the tail end, this is where you will submit your application. Now, a lot of folks actually invert it. I don't know how many of you over here can relate to it. A lot of people actually start from bottom up. They invert this entire process. Like, okay, references. Let me count how many PEs are willing right now to act as my referees. Oh, I only have 3 PEs. I need to wait to get 5 PEs. So I'm going to continue procrastinating and pushing this off for another couple of years. Have you guys found yourself in this situation? I come across students who are in this situation all the time. Not required. Credential evaluation. My degree is not from the US. It's not ABET-EAC. So I don't even know if I can get started. Maybe the P license is not for me. There is a path. Credential evaluation at nces.org. I'm not sure if my experience will qualify, right? Experience qualification comes later down the road. You can actually knock out these exams, which are the two most important steps or two most significant steps. And then when an application arrives with two of these most challenging exams, having already cleared, the subjective review actually tilts in your favor. They are still going to make sure that you have the necessary experience and qualification and everything, but don't start from step 6. I find that a lot of times it tends to be being completely blunt, a procrastination strategy where you are giving yourself reasons not to basically embark upon this journey. It should be the other way around. You should be like, okay, I need to get this done. Let me get started with the most important aspects, which are basically these exams. Let me jump into them. Let me take care of them. And then I will, along the way, make sure that the remaining requirements are met. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE electrical and PE power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE electrical and PE power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, studyforfe.com.